Hey guys, this is Kirop speaking and we are back in Automation and the Light Campaign V2, playing with Vista Automotive and our latest creation, the Taurus 85. Well, no, that's in engineering, but what else could we do in order to conquer markets, you ask? Well, one thing that is coming up is Gasmir. And that is a pretty large market. It's going to open up in 1990, so basically at the exact right time for us to now design a car and have it finished for the open of Gasmir. And what do Gasmians like, you ask? Well, I would say they do like, just as the Achanans, let's take a look here, Gasmir, they do like off-road vehicles. Look at this. The budget and the standard off-road together are something like around, let's say, reachable 5,000 cars. And the off-road premium, of course, another 600-ish. And in Achana, things are looking pretty decent too for it being such a small market, and it will only expand from here. So this is all looking pretty good. You basically cannot really cater to the off-road budget though. Let's see, our awareness is decent enough in Achana in the off-road segment, but we have no real dedicated car for the off-road segment. So, and we have differentiated the last one, the Taurus, we have differentiated it to be really just a delivery and heavy utility vehicle, and a family utility as well, I think? Yes, I think we did that. And that is a decision to move away from the off-road segment so that we now can occupy it with a new production and a new factory. And we have so much money that it doesn't really matter what we do here. So, yeah, let's push into these new markets with a new car. Let's get designing. And it is 1985, which means new bodies are available. Not only this one, 1985, but also this one, 1985. Isn't this perfect? Yes, it is, in case you wonder. It indeed is perfect. So we could make it slightly larger because this isn't really Gasmir, a Gasmian car. Maybe this one is more of a Gasmian car? I think actually that's the case. This looks much more like a Gasmian car. This would be the perfect off-roader if we were designing an off-roader for Farenia. But Farenians hate off-roaders. So, no, we're not going to do this. So let's design a proper off-roader, and that means minimize the overhang, maximize the utility, and just be awesome in general. Let's make it all boxy. I mean, it's still the 80s, right? So, boxcar, you are. Okay, just standard design from here, but now we haven't really made any off-roader yet. So let me step you through this. We can go for higher utility scores by making a ladder chassis. And that in general is a pretty good idea for off-road vehicles because they have a tendency to also like a little bit of utility score in there. We're going with standard steel stuff, and I'm actually not so sure if in the off-road stats there is the environmental resistance stat, which is basically used for nothing else. It could be. It was at one point. I remember adding that or removing that. I can't remember. Maybe I edited and removed it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Probably just going to use steel because it's nice and easy. But we are going to go with... Can we go with a all-wheel drive transverse? Front-wheel drive transverse? Or is this later? Is this coming in 95 or 1990? Maybe? Let's go with longitudinal. That should be a good option. So, solid axle coil is what you want to have for the highest possible off-road, in this case. And steel panels... And a little bit of quality. Yes. We take this. And lots of cooling, because off-road loves reliability. We're going to put a nice, big and cheap engine in there. And that has all-wheel drive. but the most off-road is the 4X4. So we are going to go with the cheaper option and the better option for off-road, which is the 4-wheel drive. And let's cook up a color which we are going to use for our off-road drive vehicles. Yeah, I think this one looks derpy enough, and I like derpy colors. So let's go with this.
It's destroyed our whole palette. It was such a nice baby blue before. I want baby blue.
No, I don't. Let's go back here. Yes. And now for the engine. Interesting question, yes. We do want to have something which has enough low-end grunt, but not too much. We don't want all the wheel spin either. We want to have something reliable and something easy to build. So, could go with V6, but we don't have that much familiarity with it. It can be cast iron, and we don't need it to be like massive, large. About 3 liters, I would say. And 3 liter inline 4s are a little large, so I want to go with something larger than that. Inline 6s, let's see, that would be a standard sized inline 6, and it fits in this vehicle. So that's cool. And what do we do with this one? Well, I just standard. We could even go. No push. No push rods. We're not going there. So we use our good old standard tech: overhead cam, 3 valve, and nothing else needed there. Let's go with +5 quality, and compression should be at 8.5. Cam profile around 27. VVT is still not ready. We go with all the quality, naturally aspirated, and injection. Multi-point. Yeah, we need to go with multi-point. Even though it's a lot more expensive, I don't really want to go back to using single point here for this one, because that's just not flowing with the times. We can go with +6 here, because overall the engine will be very easy to engineer apart from the multi-point fuel injection system. And 91 it is. And then we go something like 14.7. Give it a little bit more responsiveness, or should we just go 15.0? Not quite sure. Let's start out with 15.0 and then see if we can optimize for a little bit more compression. Ah, nice. Okay, a little bit of knock here and there. And we go with this. Maybe now I do this. Yes, okay. 130 horsepower, and we don't need to rev it quite as high. This one, performance index is still increasing there. That's usually a pretty good indicator. I think this is balanced really well to just indicate how much grunt you get out of this one. But 5.7, I mean, the components are holding up, so I'm not too worried about all this. And the exhaust diameter, 130 there, yes. No, that's all looking good. Well, let's take this engine and put it in there. And we go with an automatic, 4 gears, and not too much overdrive. And a very low first gear, as low as possible actually. Manual locker it is, that's important. And we are going with all the quality we can get for the automatic. What more to take into account? Here nothing. Definitely the chunky off-road tires. And now let's take a look what we can do here. Oh yeah, it's a good body choice. It harbors 750s. Now we just need to make sure that we get around profile height 100. Yes, 100 looks pretty decent. That's good for off-road. Lots of rubber and air between you and the rims. So, between road and the rims. Not between you and the rims. We're not rolling over you. That's, oh well, some hardcore off-roaders are probably prone to that, like checking out if the wheels are all right there, and then the co-driver is a little bit uncareful. Anyway, we are disregarding all these nasty situations which come up frequently in the testing of Vista Automotive vehicles, and focus on the technicalities instead. We move out the tires. We have pretty small overhang compared to how much space we got, so yeah, I think that's good. You never want to choose anything but steel here, definitely, because otherwise off-road will be shite. And yeah, we choose those because they make sense. Cool. We might even want to invest a little bit. No, they are kind of penny pinchers. So don't want any brake fade. Off-road vehicles do need very good brakes. Because you might be loaded up a little bit and then you find yourself in a 40% incline. It's like, okay, that didn't go well, the brakes. So we go with something reasonable here too. We might even consider, oh no, 1985, this was ABS time, right? So we can go higher. If we can go higher, that means, off-road skid tray, yes. We do have familiarity in it. 10%? We have done this once before. Can't remember when, but must have been a glorious day. And here I want to go 3 times the cooling, maybe even 4 times, because we don't really care that much about fuel economy. Maybe in Ahana, but then again fuel is so cheap there. But then again they don't have any money. So yes, 4 seats, yeah, sure. That leaves quite a bit of space in the rear. Basic to start out with. Fucking hell, yeah, I remember. A tech pool. But yeah, they do want something, right? Let's make a very, very base version. And then we go with a standard instead for the higher up version. And we do want to have these. And there's no penalty there. Very good. We do want to have +5. And yeah, let's just use the advanced ones again. So just +1. Springs. Oh, yes. We don't have anything special here yet. So let's go with something that is reasonably... Oh, fuck. We're kind of competing with segments we are already in. How can we improve this? Well, ride height, that is for sure. That amped up off-road by 1. It's not quite it. Yeah, off-road continues to increase a little bit, but not much. Everything's going down. Oh, that's pretty bad. 11.7 seconds. That is fast enough. But where do I get more off-road, is my question. Oh, from the brakes, of course. So this isn't enough. Now, if we go to 2-piston... Oh, yes. That is a lot better, but now the brakes are just massive. Alright, no, not much I can do here. Is there anything more I can improve apart from, obviously, the fine-tuning? Is a manual better? So with 63, this is 62.8. And with 5 gears, 64. But then again, drivability is taking a dive. I don't really like this. Yeah, it's difficult to choose here. Maybe we can optimize it for this. Let's take a look at the markets and what they actually like. Because this isn't looking all that good. We have designed a vehicle which doesn't make much sense, it seems. I really wanted to push into these categories. Now let's take a look at Gasmia instead. It's looking slightly better, but still not good. It doesn't bode well. I've made some mistake here somewhere. Let's take a look at the off-road category. So it gets a pretty big penalty for the overhang. And it gets a little bit for the brake fade. Not overly much. Gear spacing. width. Yeah, I can see all that. Drivetrain and stuff is really nice, so there's not much I can do to improve this. And now it just dabbles in basically all these segments. But aha! Yes, the automatic indeed is better. They do like their drivability, so that they can focus on the rocks instead of on shifting. And here's some kind of sweet spot for the handling. I think the focus should definitely be on drivability overall. And of course the costs are going to go down. And this is the very, very base version of this car. And let's take another look at Arana, where we are going to sell them at the start. The main problem with this is the price right now. But we are going to produce it in a large factory setup. So I'm not all too concerned with this. Because this one will shoot up in the 50s, and then this would be around probably 100, 110. So it's all good. But now we need to make a let's make a new trim. But first, name these things. Okay, one more thing we can improve, considering that we have a massive block of iron in the front, is that we make it oversquare. Because undersquare. Because we are currently also having like a lot of headroom here for RPM, which we don't really need for this car. So why not optimize it to something which saves us weight and doesn't cost us much performance? That should overall give us performance and reduced production time. So I'm going to lower the bore to like 79-ish and up the stroke. So, oh, there you see, we're getting a little bit of trouble here. There's all kinds of trouble. Trouble in the woods. So, pistons don't like that. That's a massive stroke. Maybe I shouldn't go that kind of crazy far. 5 mil here, and then lower it down a bit, and then cut the RPM. So below 3 liter here, and there we are. Yep, that is. Oh yes, I like this. So same power, not quite as much headroom, but we don't really need this either. The performance will suffer a little bit for it, but not much. And we had decent performance anyway. So let's see. That wasn't too bad. We lost a little bit of utility and yeah, no off-road really, but we gained drivability, and that's nice. And there we go. I think this was a good decision. Overall, we should have saved a little bit of weight. I didn't bother looking there, but let's see, how heavy is the engine overall? I would assume this has taken off something like maybe 5 to 10 kilos. And that's certainly something we can appreciate. Alright, this model is all done. So how do we proceed from here? Well, just clone it and make a standard version. Kind of premium-ish almost. And what do we put in here? I think standard. Oh, we need to choose a different market setup. So this one certainly is for Gas Mia. And where do we want to place the second one? Probably in the off-road budget. And now let's see, basic? No, standard. Ooh, the budget really didn't like that. The off-road does, okay. And here, it doesn't quite like it as much, but this is mainly due to price, I would assume. And the price is going to go down with the engineering and factory setup. So that's good. And if we go Yeah, they like it slightly better, but no, let's keep it at +1 here, because leather frame and all that shit, the safety is already pretty low. Yeah. And reliability is at 70, and this will also improve, because these guys, if you take a look here, they favor massive amounts of reliability, and these even more, 20% reliability. So we might even want to go with higher cooling. Let's see. So this is 109.2, and this is 109.6, so they actually do care quite a lot about this. So let's go with, this is 120 cooling required, and I would say 4 times. Sounds like a good figure. Especially in the base version. So 480 it is. We have to recalculate this one anyway, because of the new engine. And where do we set it? Here. Okay, yeah, slight gain. And now let's make a premium... No. First, let's check if the suspension is still good. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite this one either. But there, yeah, there we go. Okay, this is now optimal. And we do want to check out the clone and now make a premium or / luxury. Oh, we are actually going into another market which we don't have anything in right now. And that is Utility Sport. Utility Sport, of course, does exist in Gazmere. I didn't think about this one. So maybe the standard Utility Sport would be pretty good for us. Because this car could be going in that, yes. So let's put this one as the premium. Although, the price difference is rather stark. But then again, is the difference in actual performance and the stats big enough to warrant this one otherwise? And I don't think it isn't necessarily. Let's go with the higher statted one. Also because it doesn't get any penalty to the quality slider here. Alright, I think this might work out. So now we only have to set up our production. We don't have any engineers to take. 3 years, 6 months. So we are allowed to go to exactly 5 years in order to then launch into the Gazmean market. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So wow, that reliability, yo. That is massive. The base version with 82. That's so high compared to the competitors. That's massive. We have to check out what the average reliability is for the competitors after this. And here this looks even better. Let's see. We can go down in funding even. And otherwise, yeah, no, that's pretty much spot on. That means though that we could go up in reliability one more step. So let's do this. It shouldn't take more than a few months. So like this, yeah, that is 1.5 months extra work. That is within reason, and that's $25 extra. That's $50 extra for... I think this is worth it for the extra reliability. 70, yeah, for $50. I think that's good. And the production units are going up by... not that much either. Less than 1 in total. 0.8. Okay, let's retest the engine. Then we have to recalculate the various models. So this one has this. And overall reliability, it doesn't tell. But so now the base. And then the standard. Okay, now it should be accepted. And we can go over here. Oh, yeah, now this is at 5.2 years, but we can up the funding by 5. Oh, that hurt us really bad. Let's see, we do have all those. Okay. Yep. That's the most costly one. We do have 23% in familiarity bonus on the fuel system choice. That is because we have 17.5% for the MPFI, but we did have, what was it, also 17.5% for single point fuel injection. So that adds into this figure, because these two systems somewhat overlap. And now for the factories. Well, we do need a new one. And we want to build it in Achana, and it's supposed to be a large... Wow, this is super cheap. Only 206 million, that's nothing. So let's buy 2 large ones. We could even buy a huge one if we wanted to. I mean, they don't cost anything, so we may want to upgrade later on. Cannot hurt. It cannot hurt. And we build a large plot on here. 700 cars a day, that seems like a lot. That is a lot. Considering that we don't have any market yet, I think I'm going to start rather small and let this one discover the market for us. So we are going to go with a large one factory. We want to make things cheap, like this. And then we probably only need a medium 3. Although it's an inline 6, so let's go with large. Yeah, let's go for large and make this one... Oh, you pay so much for this. Just to make the price slightly lower. Nah, I don't like that. No, this is fine. And let's just name this plant the Dvalat plant. Yes, it's the Dvalat plant. Now that we have these things set up, the only thing I need to do is to reduce the premium count, because that is ridiculous. And the base one probably will sell better, because this one will penetrate into the budget markets, at least of Gazmir. Let's see, we are going to match those to the car. Yeah, 1.4, that's fine. And boof, there you go. But that is at no markup whatsoever. Now let's set a few markups here first. 20%, we do want to have a little bit of a buffer. And we're not overlapping too much here, I think. So let's get this in the ballpark for these figures. And I doubt all these are accessible, these markets. Like 21k? Nah, that is without any competition. So let's head back over to the markets. We're still scoring really well here. And that's the standard. What is the base model having? What? That's great. 28% can afford this in Gazmir, that is. Let's see how things look in Ahana. Yeah, it's completely out of the game here. And utility sport. They do have a utility sport here? Is this new in Ahana? I thought this didn't exist yet. But no, it does exist, because track doesn't exist yet, and they are completely grayed out, as is Hyper. So yeah, it does exist, and we haven't really catered to that market yet. But off-road looks good. Heavy utility, we are doing a little bit of competition with our own Taurus. With the Taurus, but I think the Taurus is somewhat better in this segment. Ah, yes. So this is all looking good, and total is just 2.7 billion. That's nothing. So this is good. Break even 1999. We're going to party like it's 1999. And sign off? I guess so. Let's sign off. Alright, the VA Hopper 85 is on its way. And it will be awesome. And it will hit the markets right when Gazmir opens. Okay, I think that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.